Hey guys, good morning. It's Tony. I wanted to do a quick TA on Tesla and where I think that it's headed. I have been getting a couple of requests from a lot of people, and I wanted to do the TA right now when I have time. It did break an extremely long trend that started back on the original sell-off of January of earlier this year. And I think we're actually headed to the likes of possibly back to maybe 880-ish to like 915-ish, somewhere between this range. There's a couple of trends that it has to break in order for it to keep running to the upside. As I mentioned before, in my Patreon early Friday morning, I did mention that I personally think that we have already bottomed on the S&P 500. And the Nasdaq itself, as well as big tech. That's going to be a video for a different day or possibly later today. As of right now, because it did cross major trend there, I do think we're headed back to around 912 or so. The only way Tesla actually trades down is if it doesn't break this micro trend that started back on January 26th. So it still has this micro trend from a month back. I personally think it's going to break it. I don't think it has a lot of actual how do you call it? A lot of actual merit in that area personally. If we actually check, let me see. Where did a lot of volume come in from here to here? So if we actually check the volume, yeah, there you go. You have an insane amount of volume at around 920. So if you do have a sell-off, I think for right now, I think you're probably gonna see Tesla at around 912 or so. If you do maybe potentially see a sell-off, you could see it here when you hit 912. So there's two things that can happen. Here we go. There's two things. As of right now, I do think because Tesla broke this major trend, I think it is headed to 912. But at this 912 mark, there's two things that can happen. A lot of volume at these levels can definitely mean a very good or a very bad thing. So a lot of because we have a lot of volume there, you can actually see a huge sell-off from 912 back to around 783, or you can actually see a major blow off. You can actually see a major blow off to the upside. And I think personally, this $1,000 level on Tesla will probably get broken, and it'll shoot up to 1,060-ish, 1,068, where 1,067, where that next weekly resistance is at. And again, because you have a lot of volume trading at 912, there's really good indication of you might come back here. There's a big sell wall, right? You've had a sell wall from January 24th all the way to February 16th. So about a full month of just a sell wall on Tesla, just consistently hitting this, and then coming back down, right? So it was extremely bad for Tesla. There's going to be an insane sell wall at around these levels of like 940-ish, somewhere around here. You're going to see a big sell wall. So you can actually see Tesla run up to 912, wake up to 945. If it doesn't actually break these highs of like 947-ish, like 947, 950, I can definitely see a sell off back to these lows of 783. But if you actually start pushing, you actually create a high of maybe like 960 or so, I can definitely see a lot of buying pressure coming in here, pushing it to 1,000, and I don't think it's going to stop there. I think it's going to rally to 1,067 and going to have a really push off there. And then if 1,067 breaks, I don't think you'll actually have resistance at 1135. I think you'll shoot up to 1172, and then more than likely you're gonna go back to all-time highs. Especially if the Nasdaq closes a bullish week, which I think it actually might happen this week if news on the war starts coming back down. So if you guys can see here, I do think the Nasdaq is probably headed back to 14,604. From here to here, maybe I think that's like a 1-2% gain. We'll actually look at that really quickly. So yeah, like a 3% move. So overall, I do see tech going back up, maybe 2-3% on the upside. But the good thing here is on the weekly, you actually closed a bullish week on the Nasdaq. Last time we actually closed, this is essentially a perfect entry on the weekly, right? Last time you closed a perfect entry on the Nasdaq, right? you rallied from 7,511 all the way up to 10,154. You know, this run here was definitely not weak, right? You rallied. I mean, what is this from? Like, you rallied from. What is this 7-4? Was it from the 795? It was from 7,511 to 10,138. So that's what, like a 30% run? That seems kind of insane, actually. I didn't actually see how big that push was. To high, yeah, 35% rally to the upside. You know, that would put you at a really good position. Let me see, but it's actually from these lows. Let's do from these lows, 35%. I mean, if you rallied 35%, you would hit extremely you would have hit an extremely big high. But I think the move here, the actual presentable move is about $3,000, I think, which is about put us somewhere maybe around back in this range at 1400, like 16,400. I think that's definitely possible, and I think that's where we're headed on this weekly trigger. So yeah, I mean, as far as the Nasdaq, I'm actually just seeing right now that it closed a bullish week. So just based off of that, yeah, I'm 100% bullish on all big tech this week, and I think it's gonna, and I think everything's gonna keep rallying from here. I think Tesla's gonna push up to 912. It might see a lot of resistance at this level because there's a lot of volume there, so you might see that push down. If you do see Tesla at somewhere like 960, then I 100% think that it's probably going to push up to 1,067 from there, and it's not going to have a lot of resistance at $1,000. So I'll see you guys later. Tesla bullish, all big tech bullish as far as Friday close. And I think from right now, I'm basically thinking that big tech has bottomed, as well as the Nasdaq and as well as the S&P 500, as long as you don't get some crazy, ridiculous news from Ukraine versus Russia. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But as of right now, all TA shows we've hit a bottom, and it's going to be a pretty good recovery. If the news doesn't break out of like Russia leveling, you know, what is it, Kiev or the capital or something, or they do something extreme, something completely extreme, then, you know, that's when we have to worry. But as of right now, all TA shows bottom, and I think, you know, and I think as of now, we can get relatively close to previous all-time highs. So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.